Yo, everybody, welcome yourselves to this very special BoxCon Global event. This is the Community Spotlight featuring my man Double M. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are live in the chat, then put up your ones. Let's see some hype, people. I'm super excited about this.
Yeah.
Are we live? Can everyone hear us?
Oh, we are live. Yeah.
I think there's a little countdown there. Yo, cool. So we are live, and I am here with my man Double M from Morocco. He has been beatboxing for 15 gosh darn years, since the age of 9. In 2016, he got to the last 16 of the online World Beatbox Championships. And since then, he has been focusing on developing the scene in Morocco and Arabia more widely. I'm going to be spending the next 25 minutes, half an hour or so, chatting with him and talking about all things beatbox and all things good. Then we're going to have a little showcase from him, and then at the end I want you guys in the BoxCon Global Twitch to pop some questions in the chat, and we'll finish with some questions from you. Does that sound good? Awesome. So yeah, Double M, it's really good to have you with us. Welcome to BoxCon Global. I'm really excited to be talking to you today. I'm going to start with a few questions about you, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the Moroccan scene and then the Arabian scene. So there'll be lots of time to talk about all of that. But yeah, starting with you, who or what inspired you to start beatboxing?
Well, hello. Thank you, Pi, for having me in the show. And yeah, big up to BoxCon Global for doing this. And literally, how I started beatboxing, it's a funny thing, how I started beatboxing. I had a classmate, he was doing two like special things, we call them special things at that moment. He was vibrating his like eyes, the inside of his eyes very fast, and he was doing and then me and another classmate, we challenged each other to learn one of those things that our other friend is doing, and I end up learning the and the other friend end up learning to move his eyes fast. And then it started like this. It started just as a challenge, and I went back home and I was like, I literally can do music with my mouth. Like, that's the feeling I got since the beginning. And I tried to do like other songs, other hip-hop songs, like just using the basic sounds that I learned from that friend of mine. And then since then, I discovered that it's called beatboxing, and I went searching on YouTube, and I found like old school videos of beatboxing and start learning since then. And here I am. I'm still learning at the age of 24. I started at 9 years old. It's been 15 years of beatboxing every day. And yeah, that's amazing.
Awesome, man. Well, it sounds like you got the right end of that deal with your friend. You learned to beatbox and he learned to move his eyes really fast.
Yeah, I got a good deal.
And I love that as well. That's a really good point about sort of community, and about how certainly when I first started out beatboxing, everyone was just learning off their friends and the people they met, and you'd inspire each other and push each other forward. So I really love to hear that little story. So here's another question then. So what inspires you now?
What inspires me now to do beatboxing is to keep doing beatboxing, not doing beatboxing, because I've been beatboxing since 15 years, and I had so many chances to stop beatboxing. I had so many, not chances, I had so many times where I thought about stopping beatboxing, but I still kept going just because of the dreams and the goals. Because I would stop literally when I would reach all my goals and all my dreams. I would have that feeling, and I might stop for sure. But since I've had so many dreams, and I've never realized like a lot of them. So that's what is still keeping me, is like the vision I have of beatboxing in Morocco, or for me, or for the whole Arabian countries. It's that vision that is still keeping me doing the things that I'm still doing right now.
Yeah, man, that's it. It's all about having something which you're aiming for to pull you forward. And for me, it's about having something which is always going to be a little bit beyond what you can do. So you're always aiming for something which you can't quite reach, and that's always going to keep you going forward and keep you moving. But yeah, man,
Yeah,
that sounds like a really good vision. So what sort of music do you listen to outside of beatboxing?
I started basically listening to rap music when I was young, like at the age of 9, 8, 10, and I kept just listening to hip hop music. But at some point I got into some dubstep and trap music, and some drum and bass, and then I started singing, and I just turned like 180 degrees to jazz and blues and reggae and this style of music. And now what do I have on my phone like 24/7 is a cappella, because I do have an a cappella group in Morocco, and I'm really fascinated about a cappella band, and I sing bass in a cappella. So that's what I'm doing like on the daily basis, just listening to a cappella songs without any instrument, just voices. So that's what I like
Nice.
to listen.
So what's your a cappella group called, and where can we hear more about them?
It's PS Harmonics, and it's still like we just had like one or two showcases done. We just started like last year, and then on this year specifically, we are planning to like work on a full showcase, like 45-minute to 1 hour showcase, and then we're gonna start doing tours maybe in Morocco, if that possible. And then we're gonna go to social media. We didn't start by social media, but we just I guess the culture of a cappella is still not implemented in the young talents with me in the group. So we need to work on like the real culture of a cappella, working on our skills first, then we can show ourselves to the world. But we're doing good so far, as
Cool.
we are just doing our thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, something for the world to look forward to there, I think.
Yeah.
Um, so what is beatboxing for you? Because you talked there a little bit about a cappella music and other types of music. Do you think of beatboxing as maybe a genre or a way of performing? How do you think of it as being different to a cappella or other forms of music?
um, Beatboxing was like I had like stages of understanding what beatboxing is, and the first stage I started with is like music, because that what I said when I went home the first time I did the what my friend was doing. I just went home and I said, "Yeah, this is literally music, so I can do music with my mouth, however it's gonna sound." But it got that music vibe in it. But after like a lot of you see so many things, you meet so many persons, and you kind of, for me it's between music and an instrument. For me it's, are we just like a full instrument that nobody have, like an instrument that can do bass and beats at the same time and music, and they can imitate? It's like one instrument that is capable of doing so many things. And not an instrument, not a music, let's call it, we are like a production machine. We produce music. That for me is like a production machine. We got a production machine in our brain, our mouth, our nose, throat, and then we use it somehow to do music.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's a really cool definition. So there's lots of different things you could have done with your life, with your time, and you chose beatboxing. Why beatboxing?
First of all, when I started beatboxing, I was still studying, right? And it was just a fun thing to do, something to not be doing what most of the people should choose to do, maybe music or do piano or whatever, play drums. It was something special for me. I'm doing since beatboxing is kind of unknown in Morocco. We've got some younger generation that understand what is beatboxing, but before, when I started, beatboxing was not a thing. Nobody in Morocco knew what beatboxing is. I mean, few of the people knew, like people who are really into the hip hop culture. So for me, it was I am the special kid who can do sounds with his mouth, who can impress people. So it was just a fun thing to do. But afterward, I stopped school and then tried to join into like to the music world, and that's when beatboxing started to be useful for me somehow. Not very useful at the beginning, but it was giving me some chance. I traveled to Egypt just for the sake of beatboxing. I traveled to France to perform just because I'm a beatboxer, and I went to USA just because I'm a beatboxer. So it was doing so many good things for me before I started working with my beatboxing skills and knowledge and career. So it was just like this for me. Beatboxing is what I'm doing right now. What I'm working on something related to beatbox, to hip hop. So it's something that is part of my life, and I really don't want to reach to that level where I'll be saying no. Maybe I should do another thing in my life, or even if I would have like a lot of money and a lot of things to do in my life, I should rather keep beatboxing than doing other jobs, like desk office jobs and stuff like this. I would rather keep beatboxing and doing the things that I do, if it's possible for me.
Yeah, man. It's about having that clarity. Like, to me, you made a good choice there, and you're touring well with it. So no one else can say anything about that. What do you think is distinctive about your style of beatboxing? What do you think is unusual?
Um, it's I literally do not have anything unusual. I don't have any special sounds. I don't have any. What do I focus on?
Yeah.
First of all, I started doing battles on the online scene, like when the days of Ventrilo and TeamSpeak were a thing, like battles on TeamSpeak and Ventrilo, and then we went to Discord afterward. So I started doing online battles, and I was just keep going. First of all, I was at the beginning I was imitating alarm beats in battles. I was that desperate at the beginning, and people were telling me, no, you should not do this, you should not do that. And by the way, imitating other beatboxers helps me a lot create my own routines. So I advise everyone to imitate other beatboxers. Why? Because when you imitate, like when you copy other beatboxers and you copy them well, not just copy them, you copy them very well, you cannot learn the transitions, the patterns of the beat, the the styles of music. So you have everything, like you have all the tools in your brain. So when you're gonna try to do your style, it's easier for you. What is unique? I don't say it's unique. What is the thing that I do on my beatbox style is just to use the simple sound set that I have and try to explore it to the maximum. Try to create something good out of a simple sound set, like just one inward bass, one lip roll variation, like patterns, rhythms, and some little sound effects, and I would do a good routine out of that. That's what I focus on. It would help if I got some sound effects, but if I don't, that is not the excuse for me to say no. I cannot do good routines just because I don't have sound effects. So
Yeah.
it's just exploring other things.
Yeah, no, I really agree with what you said there. I think it's really important for beatboxers to sort of have the humility to learn from others, and particularly from legends like people like Alem, people like Skiller, people like Reaps One. There's a lot you can learn from those people. So taking the time to sit down and learn their style, I think is really really important. I think a lot of beatboxers try and run off and develop their own style, and that's really cool. But it's also important to learn what other people to learn from the mistakes which other people have made, and to learn from the successes which other people have had. And when I asked the question, what's distinctive about your style, like something about the way you arrange your beats, that's exactly the sort of thing I meant.
Yeah,
I don't think.
exactly. That's the thing. It's and the correct answer for your question is I just try to with the simple sound set that I have, I would try like literally my best to make a good routine out of it.
Yeah,
However,
that's it,
the
man.
difficulty is, but I should do it.
Perfect. Yeah, so it's about putting together your routines and having them set out in a way that you're happy with.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've been beatboxing for 15 years, and in that time you've been based in Morocco. What do you think has changed about the Moroccan beatbox community now compared to when you started?
When I started, like, things were very basic. In Morocco, in the rest, like in the, like, the worldwide community was it involved in, was the evolution was still going, but in Morocco it was just basic. And at one point we had a good community, small community, and then it was going well. We had a group on Facebook, we would share videos and stuff, and then at some point it stops. Why? Because people were getting older. People like were like 24, 25, 23, and then they would say, oh, I'm uh, I'm getting nothing out of beatboxing. It's not helping me anyway. I'm doing no showcase, no battles in Morocco, no work from beatboxing. So let's just stop. And then at one point, the community just disappears, and we were like or seven people still active on the community and doing beatbox. Then the younger generation came, and that was a good start for the beatbox in Morocco. It's like beginning of 2015, 2013, 2014. That's where people start coming into the beatboxing in Morocco and start learning beatboxing. And it's still and we are still in that phase, because the age, the average of age in Morocco is like 16, 17 years old of beatboxers. They're not too old, and they are some young beatboxers like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, maximum 20, 21. So we are in that phase where after 5 or 4 years, the level is just gonna blow if they keep doing what they are doing, because the community is just gonna grow, and I'm expecting that for the future. But what changes is just some little things got understood for the people, like the culture of beatboxing starts spreading just a little bit out, not too much, but just a little bit. People start knowing what beatboxing is, but not everybody knows that. It's still a problem, like, for everyone, but in Morocco it was awful at the beginning. If you do beatboxing and you just pass someone, you will just laugh at you or just make fun of you because you're doing weird noises with your mouth. He just don't understand. Now it's kind of different. You can have like events of beatboxing, you can perform, and people will be impressed and stuff. Before it was not the case. So that's for me what changed, and the level changed a lot because of the evolution of beatboxing in the whole world. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. No, that sounds like a really exciting time to be part of that scene. Sounds like there's a lot of energy there, and a lot of things moving forward. And you're seeing a lot of improvements. Like I'm super old school in the UK scene, so I still remember even in the UK when I started out, you go up to people and say, "I'm a beatboxer," and so what's a beatboxer? Whereas nowadays it's much more. Most of the time when you speak to someone, you talk about beatboxing, they know what you're talking about. So yeah, it's really cool to see that that's starting to happen in Morocco as well now. So what's it like being part of that scene with all of that energy behind it? And I suppose if you're saying you're sort of part of the first wave and there's a second wave coming, you're kind of one of the older people in your scene. So what's it like sort of being at that age and having that
I'm
experience?
not I'm not that old.
Okay.
I'm kind of saying, um I was the middle school of beatboxing,
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
old school and not the new school. Because when I started, there were some beatboxers who started in 2003, 2002, 2000, but it was like you can count them. It's like 3 or 4 people, and then we met them. I met them, and when I say we, I'm talking beatboxers from the middle school, but most of the beatboxers from the middle and old school, they stopped because of the things I said. There is no work with beatboxing, there is no event, there is no battles, no showcases. We win nothing from beatbox, so they stopped. But there is some still older beatboxers. For example, one beatboxer called Yassine, he's the head of the Moroccan Beatbox Community Discord server that you just tagged in. He's old, he's like 27, but he still keep doing things for the community. I'm 24, I'm not that old, but I've lived into that kind of old fashion of beatbox, or middle age of beatboxing in Morocco.
Yeah.
So, but I guarantee you, the new generation in Morocco is killing it. like the younger souls and the younger talents in Morocco are just like going crazy, and that's why we need to some changes in the community worldwide, and like people from Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Middle East countries like North Africa, Arabian countries in general need to be introduced to the whole world to show their skills, because there's very talented beatboxers out there.
Yeah, yeah. So you're talking a lot there about the sort of younger people coming up and coming through, and the energy which they're bringing to the scene. Do you think that you've still got that same energy, or what sort of role do you think you have in the community at the moment?
I'm still a beatboxer of the community. I still count myself as one of the community, and if I'm doing something for the community, it's just for this. It's like I'm doing it for myself, because I when first I started, I spent 12 years of beatboxing without having a national battle. And when the first national battle happened, I competed in it and I won it. And then I started working with the people that organized it, which is Positive School of Hip Hop that I mentioned. They are the people who organized the first Moroccan Beatbox Championship. And when I won, I started working with them for the sake of making the Moroccan Beatbox Championship better and better each year for our community, for my community as a beatboxer, for everybody, literally for myself and for everyone. So like just whatever I do, I don't want to say I did this for the community because I don't like this, but I did this for all of us,
Yeah,
starting with me and everyone as well. So,
That's
and
it.
whoever is doing something good for the community, props for them. They're helping us grow and show our skills to the world.
That's it. And yeah, when you give to a community, and especially when you give to a community like beatboxing, you always find that love comes back and it gets shared around and around. So you're talking about the positive school of hip hop there, and spoilers for people who are watching on the Twitch. Me and Double M were chatting a little bit before this all started, but I don't think you talked about that to the people who are tuning in on Twitch. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the positive school of hip hop?
So, right when I started doing competitions in Morocco, like it was like first competitions, national competition, not official Moroccan Beatbox Championship, but it was just a competition of beatboxing. I met a guy called Anas Baus. He's the founder of a Positive School of Hip Hop, and he had that vision of uh, having like the first long term hip hop school in Morocco, and then literally he was the guy who organized the first Moroccan Beatbox Championship in Positive School, and I went there and I won the first title of the first Moroccan Beatbox Champion. And after that, we just started talking about his vision of the school, and then it's a hip hop school, so it includes beatbox. So I just found myself in Positive School doing things, events about beatboxing, doing classes about beatboxing, organizing stuff for the community. So it's the first long-term hip-hop school in Morocco that is doing events of dance, beatbox, DJing, rap, graffiti. So we cover like all elements of hip-hop, and then literally um, it's like home. It's like when you finally find your place where you belong. You are a beatboxer. There is a place for you where you can work as a beatboxer. So it's kind of difficult to find this in Morocco. To work with beatboxing in Morocco was, for me, was one of the impossible things to ever realize in my life since when I started beatboxing. And when it happens, it was just a blessing for me.
Oh,
So
cool, man.
yeah, props to the Positive School.
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that, man. That's awesome to hear. And that's just so you know, that's difficult wherever you are in the world. Sort of making a living and making a job through like hip hop and through beatboxing is it's always tricky. So yeah, massive props to you for putting in that effort and finding the right people and finding the right crew and putting things together. So yeah, big up for that. Do you have any other events in Morocco?
The Moroccan Beatbox Championships is 2018. And this year we are organizing it, an online edition of the Moroccan Beatbox Championship. It's gonna happen on the 16th of August, like in 5 or 6 days, and it's gonna be live streamed on Swissbeatbox. So make sure to tune in when it's happening. And we do organize on when it is not the case right now because of COVID and the whole pandemic. But before, we used to organize like weekly jam sessions in Casablanca here, and I guess Tangier and Agadir, because the school is based in 5 cities of Morocco. So we exist in 5 cities of Morocco. The official one is in Casablanca, and the other cities are Fez, Tangier, Agadir, and Marrakesh. So we kind of organize weekly sessions for people just to come, join, just have fun, jam, and do some monthly battles and have fun and try to evolve with the group, because for us beatboxers, it's better to practice with a group of people than practicing alone. So it helps grow the level. And there is like other people who are organizing online battles. For example, the Moroccan Beatbox family, they are organizing weekly battles in Discord. When I said, I already mentioned Yassine, it's the Moroccan Beatbox family Discord server. We do organize like weekly battles, international battles, online battles, and online battles only for Moroccan beatboxers. And there is Casa Beatbox, who are organizing the UBF Ultimate Beatbox Fight for the Moroccan Beatbox community, and they are organizing the Arabian Beatbox League online, which is a good thing, just to join all the. It was like 6 countries, and then each country pick 8 people, and then they do elimination, and they had the top 16 yesterday. And with the Positive School, we are organizing the International Royal Jam, which the wild cards ended 2 days ago, and then we are picking the winners of the wild card. And we already have 5 guests. We have Vokoda, Shazam, Precia, and Synopsis being already guests in the battle. And the Moroccan Beatbox Champion of this edition, the winner of the online edition, will join the battle on the 23rd. The International Royal Jam is going to be on the 23rd of August, and it's going to be live streamed as well on Swissbeatbox. So I guess there's a lot of things to do here in Morocco with the community. We are planning to do a lot of stuff worldwide and with the Arabian countries as well. But I guess Morocco would stay for me, that's what I thought. For me, Morocco is the link up between the North African, Middle East countries and the Europe and the USA countries, because we are near to USA and we are near to the Europe as well. So we are planning to make Morocco kind of the place where the exchange happened between USA and the bridge of like the Arabian beatbox community and the other communities in the world. So that would be great things to have that.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds really good. And really good to hear that you've, at least sort of before COVID, you've got lots of jams going on as well as battles. For me personally, I grew up with lots of jams, probably more jams than battles, and that was always a really important part of the community. So yeah, I absolutely love to hear that there's still like weekly jams going on and different things happening around the world. So yeah, that's wicked to hear. You're talking there a little bit about the Arabian beatbox scene and how that kind of fits in with the Moroccan beatbox community. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that and perhaps maybe where the Arabian beatbox scene comes from?
First of all, beatboxing just joined when the Arabian scene knew beatboxing just maybe later on than the rest of the world because of the culture, literally. But when it came to skill and evolution, we did it like everyone. We evolved like everyone. We learned everything like everyone, and we do have a lot of amazing talents in the Arabian scene. I guess the problem for the Arabian countries, which has been the problem since the start of beatboxing in the whole Arabian countries, is the difficulties of traveling to other international battles. Because when I see GBB and then you live in Europe, you just can take your car and go to GBB, or just take your car and go to Poland, or just fly easily without a visa, without anything, and go to GBB, or go to the World Camp, or go to the World Championship. In Morocco, if I want to go to GBB, I need to apply for a visa. I need money to apply for a visa. I need to buy a ticket with like 400 euros or $400. So it would cost me literally all my savings for a year. Like I could do a project here in Morocco with this money, but it's difficult, literally difficult for every average beatboxer in Morocco, like talking about the financial level. It's very difficult to travel to other international beatbox event, and that's what is making it hard for the Arabian scene to show into the international scene, because if all the Arabian young talents or amazing super talents started to do battles in SBX camp or in GBB or in, I don't know, all the battles, the open battles in the international scene, people would notice them. People would see their skills. They would have like videos on the internet about them in those international battles. So people would notice the level of the community. And because of that, I guess that's the major problem why we don't have access to the international scene. And for me, one solution, the solution that we can do literally is to bring the international scene into the Arabian countries. And that's what we are trying to do. We literally were about to do it this year, but with COVID and the pandemic didn't happen. The international Royal Jam that we are organizing, the battle is going to happen on the 23rd. It was planned to be in Casablanca. So we would have beatboxers coming from the outside of the Arabian countries battling in Morocco. And we would have Arabian beatboxers who would join in as well. So that would be easier for us to spread our skills and levels and share them with the world. It's going to be very hard to mobilize people from Arabian countries to the other side of the world.
Yeah.
But it would be easier to bring the other side of the world into the Arabian countries so they can see themselves. Literally, that's for me the only ideal solution that can be done very quick. So if, for example, we organize an international battle with an international judge panel, they come here into Morocco. So Morocco, it's accessible for Algeria, for Tunisia, for Egypt, for Middle East, much more easier than going to USA, Europe, or many other countries. So that's, for me, would be the good solution. But for sure, we do have such an amazing communities in the Arabian scene, like the Moroccan community, the Egyptian community, the Jordanese community, the Algerian community, the Tunisian community, the Arabic Saudi community, like Yemen, Lebanon, I mean Syria, a lot of countries. And in those countries, there is a lot of high-skilled beatboxers. I'm talking like high-level skilled beatboxers, like some people that could be easy winning any international battle, or can be, they could be moving into like winning the GBB, like qualifying to the battles in the GBB. Like a good level of beatboxers can come out of the Arabian scene. So that would be good if when we say worldwide beatbox battle, it should literally be worldwide.
Yeah. No, I really agree with that. And yeah, it's a real shame to hear that there's a lot of talented beatboxers where money is the reason that they can't be competing at that high level. Because obviously the whole scene is missing out on what they can do and how they can push the scene forward. Because literally there's that money problem of getting them to the right place. So yeah, that sounds like a really good idea to try and get international beatboxers coming to places like Morocco. Morocco is a really beautiful country, and yeah, a really good place to go and visit. So yeah, it'd be awesome to have an international battle there. You were talking earlier about a sort of shared culture among Arabian beatboxers. And I suppose is the sort of like, is it the location and the language and the culture, or what is it, do you think, that brings the Arabian scene together?
What brings the Arabian scene together? It is the culture, because we kind of have similar vision about like we kind of have similar language. We do all speak Arabic, but the accent is different from country to country. So we don't have the same accent of Arabic, but we do have the same meaning of the Arabic. It's like how can I explain it? It's when you say British accent and US
Okay.
accent. It's the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
Because in Morocco we talk different than Algeria, but we understand what Algerian says. And in Algeria they talk different than Tunisia, but we understand each other literally. So that's what kind of bring everything together. And plus one fact, which we are all Muslims, like the religion just kind of link us together. We do have a common religion in the whole Arabian scene. That does not neglect that there's other religions in the other Arabian countries, but the main religion in Arabia is Islam. So it kind of a link between all of this, and the cultural side as well is linked. So for us, we and plus we know each other's pain, we know each other's problems. That's one of the things that keep us connected. We know that we struggle to show the world what we can do, and that what keeps us working hard, I guess, for everyone, literally for every community, they still work hard to show the world what their community is capable of. So that's what brings us together, I guess.
Cool. Are there any particular genres of music or sort of synths or sounds which are popular in the Arabian scene? Do you think you could define an Arabian style with beatboxing?
I wouldn't say an Arabian. There is some Arabian style that have been shown to the world with Arabian beatboxers that does not live in Arabian countries. Like for example, BBK. He's from Lebanon, and he do the Arabian style, like this is Arabian rhythm. So he already showed that to the world. Like Ozzy, he's from Morocco. Ozzy, the French beatboxer, he's from Morocco. He's a Moroccan, and he once did the Moroccan style in a battle against Mark Martin on in, I don't remember the battle. It was Florida beatbox battle. So and by the way, in so many countries there is so many originally Arabian beatboxer, but they just have a nationality of France. They just were born in France, like Wawad, like BMG. Wawad is from Algeria. BMG is from Algeria as well, I guess. Ozzy is from Morocco. BBK is from Lebanon. Fayabraz, he's half Algerian. So like, you know, we cannot define a style for the Arabian, because they literally can do everything. I guarantee you, if you listen to Arabian beatboxers, it wouldn't make a difference with like an international beatboxer. But at some points, we could use an advantage of our culture as much as every beatboxer in the world, because we do have some complex rhythms in our culture that people cannot do. Like literally the Moroccan style, like it's a 6/4 beat, but if it like a French or American or not, if a non-Arabian drummer tries to play a 6/4, he would play it differently than us, because he would play it academically. We do play it in a groove that only Moroccans can understand. So it's kind of an advantage for us to do, and maybe Egyptians as well, like other countries as well, can do that as well. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's really interesting to hear about. Who are your favorite beatboxers in the Arabian beatbox scene, and why?
I have a lot. I do have a lot of favorite beatboxers, like literally. So when I first started meeting other beatboxers from other countries I would come to Morocco later on, but also with the other countries. So for the other countries, like there was Ilyas Beat from Algeria. He maybe stopped beatboxing. He was like 14 years old, but he was like fire. He was like hellfire. It was super amazing beatboxer. It was Trabox from Egypt. I do have a video with Trabox on SBX, on Swissbeatbox. It was such a cool video. When I went to Egypt, we recorded a shout out for Swissbeatbox. He's such a dope beatboxer. He stopped beatboxing, unfortunately. There is, I would say, for me, Tunisino from Tunisia. He's a dope musical beatboxer. XS from Algeria. You know, there's Ziad Sweden. There is so many Egyptian beat FRK, Safe. There is so many amazing beatboxers in Egypt as well that I like as well. I'm just not gonna list them all, but there's great beatboxers. And in Morocco, I do like everybody, literally, because I believe in everybody in Morocco. I believe in the others as well, but in Morocco, I literally get like, you know, chills, you know. When I listen to some Moroccan beatboxers, I'd be like, damn, if he was not in Morocco, if he was born in another country, or if he battles outside of Morocco, he's just gonna kill everyone. Like literally, there's they like Minko, NL, I don't know, Yakuza, Wissam, Kaliashi. Like there's names. I wouldn't stop if I start saying names, but everyone in Morocco and Arabian, they're fire. They just need that shot, that single shot to show the world what they
well, I really hope they get that shot and we all get a chance to hear some of their stuff. Is there somewhere that we can find out more about Moroccan beatboxers or Arabic beatboxers or kind of the scene as a whole?
So if you want to find out more about Moroccan beatboxers, the first thing that you should do is just to check the Moroccan Beatbox Championship. This is going to happen on the 16th of August. It's going to be live streamed on Swissbeatbox, so you would see like the level of the battles in Morocco. And then there is the Positive School of Hip Hop, which we do a lot of events about beatboxing, so you can check that as well. There's like Moroccan Beatbox Family, Discord server, and YouTube channel, which there is a lot of battles daily, and they upload this on YouTube as well. Kaza Beatbox as well. If you check the YouTube channel of Kaza Beatbox, you would find a lot of things about Moroccan beatbox and Arabian beatbox countries. And there is a lot of YouTube channels about Arabian other Arabian countries like Egypt Beatbox Family and Jordan Beatbox Championship. There is a lot of things to just search about Arabian beatbox community, and then you're gonna find everything. And I would be happy to share if anyone would need something. You're just gonna message me or ask me about something. I'll be happy to help with finding any information you would like to know.
Cool. Thank you so much. That's really appreciated. Definitely, I'll be doing a search after we finish this interview, and I'll be having a little look around and see if I can pick up some inspiration from the Arabian scene and from the Arabian style. But yeah, I think what would be, because time's got away from us a little bit, we're probably down to the last sort of 10-15 minutes. So if you've got time to give us a quick showcase, I'll go and sort of source a few more questions from the Twitch chat, and then we'll finish by asking some of those questions. Does that sound good? Cool. Awesome. Sure. Well, let's hear what you got then, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but let's just try. I got a flow, better than you think, than you know, no, boom, boom, and here we go, I'm dropping out with the slow-mo, boom, boom, and I will show to everyone that I can kill, yo, boom, boom, I got a flow, boom, boom, I got a flow, boom. I got a flow, boom. I gotta kill it with Bugado drop. Bugado, paint. Kill it with Bugatti drop. Hey, I would like to do a song for you, so it would be good to end it with a song. And that's a song that I really like a lot and I enjoy to do since I started beatboxing and I started singing. And it's a song of Nina Simone called Feeling Good. Flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Yeah, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Oh, blossoms on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Yeah, and I'm feeling good. Keep on falling in it out of love with you. I've never loved someone for you. Oh, oh, I never felt this way. How do you give me so much pleasure? Cause me so much pain. I keep on falling in it out of love without you. I've never loved someone the way that I love you. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new, and I'm feeling. Yeah. All right.
Awesome, man. Absolutely smashed it. Yeah, I absolutely loved that showcase. That was really cool. I especially loved that little loop at the end. Yeah, really nice to hear that singing voice. It's really crisp and clear, and yeah, just absolutely beautiful, man. Awesome. Yeah, lots of
Thank you
comments.
so much.
Lots of comments in the chat. We have got lots of exclamation marks and ones and hearts from people like Kalal with a hyphen and Shadow Sumo. Yo.
Wait.
Yes. What is that? I'm getting some noise in my ear saying you guys can't hear me clearly. Jitsi, hang on a sec then.
Whoa, Kim. Shadow Sumo.
Okay, cool. I'm told you guys couldn't see me there, but hopefully you could hear me. But I was just saying we're getting a lot of love from and ones and exclamation marks from people like Kalal with a hyphen, from Shadow Sumo. Mr. Jacana says he's loving this dope showcase. And KHZ9898 is the only person that's come with an actual question. My question is, why is Double M so awesome? And yeah, also just the comment that he's the big brother that every community needs, which I just thought was a lovely comment as well. So yeah, big up to yourself, man.
Shout out to Khez. Thank you. I just try to do what I can to make things good for me and my brothers and sisters in the community.
Yeah, man. No, it seems like you're doing a fantastic job of it. So we didn't get any other questions from the crowd. I think maybe they're all a little bit shy. But yeah, I've got a couple more questions for myself. So we were talking a lot about the Arabian scene and the Moroccan community, and I was wondering what you think the next steps are for those groups, and how you think they're going to evolve.
I think the Moroccan scene is going to keep evolving as it's doing right now. The level is getting so high day after day. People are practicing very hard and they're getting better and better and better. And I really enjoy watching people just getting better, just becoming good beatboxers, knowing what they do, knowing their styles, knowing their skills. And for the Arabian scene, it's the same. People are figuring out stuff. People are understanding the vision of beatboxing, of like the worldwide vision. And I truly believe that one day we're not gonna just stay like this, hidden forever. I mean, sure, some names are going to start to rise up, and then the whole community is gonna be shown to the world one day. We are trying our best to make that happen. Whoever is trying, props for him, and thank you so much for your great work. And I just hope for the best. I just hope that people. Well, my advice, if any Arabian beatboxer, particularly and generally any beatboxer in the world, if you are thinking about stopping beatboxing just for the sake of there is no battle or there is no competition or you're winning nothing, just don't think about it. Just do it for the love of it. Just do it if you love it. If you don't love it, just stop doing it. and don't think about money, don't think about fame, don't think about battles, don't think about competitive, don't think about being the best, because literally no one is the best in the world. There's just people who got good days and then they won the battle, and the others who got bad days and then they didn't. So the level changed, the skills changed, and keep changing, keep grinding, keep going up with the wave, and never stop. Please never stop. Just keep doing what you do.
Cool, man. Awesome. I love that message. I was going to ask you another question, but I think that's such like a good positive message to end on. We'll call it a day there. But yeah, really agree with that. Yeah, definitely. I really believe in beatboxing for its own right and for its own good. And I think that beatboxing has a lot of really positive effects on you as a beatboxer as well as the people around you. So yeah, totally agree with you from the bottom of my heart. Anyone out there that's into beatboxing, stick with it, and it will just reward you so much through itself and through the community that you can get involved with, and through any opportunities you do get to sort of perform and battle. There's just so much reward out there. So yeah, much love. Big up to you. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us today, Double M. Yeah, it's been a pleasure chatting to you. And yeah, I'll speak to you again soon, I hope.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. It's been such a good time chatting with you, Pi. It's such a great thing to have a conversation with you. You are so amazing when it comes to exploring ideas and talkings, and that's great. That's what we are doing. We are just having a good discussion and conversation over here. So thank you so much. Big ups to Yason. Big ups to BoxCon Global. To Hestman. I call him Hestman, not Hestman. It's Hestman. Big up to Hestman for doing the sound check. And yeah, see you soon. Tune in for the Moroccan Beatbox Championship on the 16th of August, and for the International Royal Jam on the 23rd of August in the SBX YouTube channel. And see you on the near future, and keep doing what you do, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Big up.